Hey guys, this wasn't the original plan here. I was gonna show you guys my chicken pens and my new chicks and turkeys I just picked up. I got them yesterday and I was hoping to do this video yesterday, but I just got so tired I never really got there. And it was a sunny, beautiful day yesterday, and I ended up checking out some equipment, some future purchases, as I might say, if I get lucky and move forward. And that's what I was planning. And then I realized today I was going to take the pictures and film the video on my setup on the chickens and turkeys, and it's absolutely pouring. It's a completely different day. We had tornado warnings an hour ago, and yeah, it's been a little bit loony. So I'm gonna run between the pens and try not to get soaked here, and show you guys what we're working with and where we're at on it. So this is just my turkey setup. As you can see, water trough, and I got a blanket on top just to kind of keep the heat in for them because they like it a little toastier than the chickens. And this is what we got. I only got a regular bulb in there. I don't have a stand or heat lamp in there. It's pretty warm for them. This aluminum trough heats up a little bit on the sides and keeps them warm. It stops the wind. The turkeys are a little more sensitive to temperature, so that's why we do this. I have a little feeder in here and some water. They're all loaded up. And what I do is I throw stress aid inside the water because we don't use antibiotics or anything at all to try and keep our birds alive in the most kind of dire times. And that's the first day, or I would say the first week. So I find the stress aid, if you can give them a little more mineral than they need, it can help them out a bit. And yeah, I got these yesterday, so these are all day olds. Did some work on this pen a little bit here. So they're all around the heat now. Let's see if they scatter or what. I got 2 waters in here. If I sit down, they calm down. But this is a lot of pen for them. I should actually have a divider in here. Just kind of letting them divide so that they kind of stay warm in the area. But once they're by themselves, they're pretty calm and they just stay around that heat light. And then they have their water close, and their second water, I put stress aid in these too. If anybody wants to know, stress aid is it's just basically like Gatorade. There's nothing in it but vitamins. It kind of helps them keep going and stay warm. These ones don't need to be as warm as the turkeys, as I said. Turkeys you should be holding like 90, I want to say. 95, somewhere in there. So this, I just kind of put some stuff on the walls to keep them from holes. And right now they're playing Explore, but chickens always have a little more speed. They're a little more chipper. So I just put wheat straw down here. In the turkey area, I put shavings. Maybe I should have done shavings here too, but it doesn't seem to bother them too much. The straw just gives them something to play with. And they just run around and do whatever, right? So they explore everything and see what's going on in life. Let's see if I can pick one up. Yeah, so this is what we got here. Just a day old. As you can see, the feathering. Oh, bugger in. Don't peck at me. On the wings, you're seeing feathers. That's what I like to see. First feathers. Once they're feathered or they're partially feathered, they seem to stay warmer quicker. Or stay warmer easier, and it's a lot easier on the heat bill. But that's what we're doing. So that's where I was yesterday. I also took a look at some equipment. I didn't get any video because my phone died right as I got to the dealership. And I didn't have my charger on me because I left too early in the morning and I forgot it. So I checked out a couple tractors. In my area, John Deere's always trade a little more money. Same with Case IH's. But I hadn't really ran any of them, and to see what I really liked and what I didn't, I looked at, there was a 7710, 7810, 7600, all those tractors. It'd be nice, but every time I find those tractors, they're 7,600 hours, and they are 7,600 hours, and you're over 60 grand, usually closer to 70. So it's a hard thing for me to justify 70 grand for a tractor that's got 7,600 hours, because when you start getting into those hour levels, you're going to be replacing things. So that means work, that means money. So I like to stay away from something that high in hours. But the place I went while I was in the area, because I had to pick up chickens anyway, they have a little bit of everything. They have a lot of used equipment, but they expect top dollar for it. They usually put new cab kits in it, which is nice, but I don't know the actual story behind a lot of the engines and the transmissions and the owners. So I find you just have to be careful if you can. Try and take the least amount of risk. I don't ever see myself being able to afford a John Deere. Being straight, they just, for what you are paying, yes, I understand there's some reliability and there's a brand name there, but it's just too much brand name for me, because I just can't justify it on the yielding I do, for the size of farm I do. It just don't make sense. So I took a look at some 986s. I took a look at some Massey 3 Series, 1/6 Series. There was, as I said, internationals. There was Ford. There was TW Fords, TW 15 or 10. There was some there. There was Alice's there. There was Dutz's there. There was John Deere's obviously there. Different eras. Everything from the new stuff to 4030s. There was a little bit of everything. So I wanted to kind of try and drive, and because they let you test them out and stuff, and I wanted to try and drive them and see what I liked, what I didn't like, all that good stuff. So I kind of spent a couple hours in there just seeing what I'd like to use. I kind of want to know what I'm going into. Even if I can't purchase it right now, I can have ideas on what I really would like to use, what I wouldn't have an issue using, and something that makes sense for my operation. One thing I do like is things that I can shift up and down a little bit for variance for hills. For me, it's a little bit of peace of mind. So if it doesn't shift well, or it's kind of it's difficult to shift quickly, I'm not really a fan of it usually, because it's just difficult in hills. Also, if I'm road driving, I don't want something that's a big pain in the butt to use on the road. So that's what I'm working on, guys. I took a look. I also took a look at an Arroway. They had one there, so I wanted to see what that was about. I hadn't used one. I didn't know anybody in this area that's used one, but I'm looking at them a little bit for hay, because I don't put any other crops in other than hay, just to increase my yield, because I have clay. And if I can get some spike aeration in there to try and get it so that I get more air into my soil and allow for nutrients to go into my soil, and start getting it so that you're getting the mix of all three of your important elements into soil, I think it would be a benefit. So that's what I'm working on. That's what I'm looking at. I did drive, actually I drove a few older Alice's a little bit. My dad had one, so I figured I'd take a look at them and see what they're like, and what they're used to, because I never drove one. They had an 8010 there. I drove a 6080 there. There was a few others out there too, but those are the ones I actually drove, and it was cool. It was cool seeing the differences in what different brands do, and different ideas and concepts of that time, because I know I won't be able to afford anything new, but ideally I'd like to have a secondary tractor as a pull tractor, whether that's for moving manure, or if that is a second tractor on the like one on the baler and then one on the mower, so that I'm not unhitching all the time, right? It's the ideal situation, but it all comes with time and money. So take care, guys. That's enough rambling for me.
I do have 10 seconds of that aerator just to show you guys. That's all I could get before my phone died. So take care, keep farming.